Hello everyone, welcome to Rip and Email Monday. Today I'm going to analyze parts of the SparkPost Email 2021 document, which is a PDF downloadable of the latest trends in email, as well as some behaviors and benchmarks coming from 2020 and into the following year. I will leave a link to the downloadable PDF, which will be on SparkPost page. It's behind a form, an opt-in form, so support them if you really want to get your hands on this document. So let's dive right into it. All right, looking at some of the data, jumping over a couple of slides here. These are by industry charts, which tells you the average impact on email. This chart you see right here tells you that overall the pattern in sending hasn't changed, as well as the placement in inbox. There is some fluctuations up and down, but nothing too dramatic to worry about. Also, the average open rate is gravitating between 12 and 18%. This is kind of where that blue line is. And on the right side, this is the breakdown by industry. So this is on medical. Overall, the post-crisis mean, that means that blue line right here, that's after the crisis in 2020, and in red is before the crisis. They're showing us that the mean has been down by 5% for the medical, automotive is down by 2%, and entertainment is down by 13%. So these industries took a little bit of a hit in terms of the email volume and the open rates. Finance down by 2%. Food service and beverage obviously up by 4%. Impact on social reviews, these are down by 10%. On retail, down by 15%, dramatic decrease. On retail and other industries, down by 7%, and retail online is down by 9%. So these are some of the signals that were synthesized by SparkPost, who is a leader in SMTP deliverability. A few others on travel is down by 42%. Feel bad. Industry that was pretty hit this last year. Impact on government, education, and charity. The post mean is up 17%. On media and publishing, up 12%, and on telecom, down 2%. All right, this just gives you a rough estimate. The bottom line is the purple one. That's the open rates, and the green one is the overall inbox placement rate. All right, another cool trend is the BME showing larger senders as early adopters. I've covered BME in a previous document. It's a new record you can add to your DNS, which stamps your logo and authenticates your brand when you lead the inbox. I explained that it's supported by Yahoo and Gmail, AOL, Netscape, Fastmail, also supported. So if I would break down my authentication, it seems like in terms of adoption, SPF, DKIM still lead, DMARC a little bit more than last year, and BME is a little bit up. So these are the small brands and versus the bigger brands. Bigger brands seem to understand it a little better. They invest a little bit in future technologies. But honestly, even if you're a small operation, setting up BME is so simple. You can follow my previous video on that. AMP is on the lookout. You keep on the lookout for that. I also have a video covering it. It's still early in terms of what technology supports it. You have to enable it on your browser and so on. But accelerated mobile pages for email is really the future of email. Make it a more engaging. You can interact with elements on the email and so on. So that's the future overall. Keep on the lookout for that. Privacy is center stage. There are a lot of technologies also that are either blocking the read pixel. That means if you are using VBOUT and you're seeing 25% open rate, you probably have an additional padded 3 to 5% that we couldn't track. That's because some email clients are actually blocking the read pixel, so we cannot tell you when your clients have opened it. Also, bots, a huge concern for a lot of email marketers. Automatically opening, it's such a small percentage that it doesn't seem to cause any concern in the email marketing world. And also blocking links, not so much adopted yet, because links are tracked and we can tell you the click-through rates of your emails. Dark mode, this is not I would say, top of mind, but there's some dark mode options on different devices, especially on mobile and such, because it decreases consumption of your battery. That's one of the things that I thought, or I've read that it helps. Um, Email reigns as a primary identifier in a post-cookie world. This one is the most important to me because as a brand, you should be working on your first-party cookie strategy. How are you gathering data on your leads, on your clients, customers? Do you collect only email data? Do you have strategy on SMS, on web push notification, web landing page tracking, all that stuff? So having some sort of a first-party cookie which you track directly and immediately is going to win in the next few years. Email is still on the frontiers of that because you can track when people open, when people click, and obviously you have a way to communicate with them. I highly encourage you follow us. We have a full-on session on building your cookie strategy and your attribution model sometime in February. Brands have also leveraged email more last year to extend their messages, especially with racism was a big topic with COVID. A lot of the communication and the brand extension has been through email. If you are looking to build your brand, to build your image with your customers, think of an email as literally a hand-in-hand channel with your website, with your branding, with your social media. You have to spend on it, and you have to communicate your main messages through it. All right, so these are some of the main things I thought were interesting. I'll skip through the rest to focus on the things that are actually pretty good. These are some good numbers. Most leaders are planning to stay with email and even invest a little bit more post-COVID. And in terms of some benchmark data, these are some deliverability rates versus inbox ESB placement. The rating overall for inboxes have steadily remained flat year over year, with some volatility and unpredictability, of course, over the past year. I'm talking about 2020, of course. Not a lot of companies are using permission-based process, meaning you have to verify your email before you actually get emails from us. The hard bounce rate across different industries and different traps remain, between 0.1 and 0.2. I highly recommend keeping that as low as possible. You don't want to cross that to be industry standard. There are different kinds of traps. If you want to dive more into it, you can look up some honeypot traps, recycled traps, pristine traps. But these are different things that security companies put out there in order for them to assess email performance. All right, so in terms of unique open rates and complaints, complaints keep on between 0.005. This should be the lowest number in your entire benchmark. If you have a high number there, look at your data. You have to do something about it. Unique clicks, this between 4 and 2%, and unique open rates between 20 and 30%. All right, open rates, it seems like, this has been always the case. People send most in this high contrast color area. This is the hour of the day worldwide. Not so much before 6 and not so much after 8 o'clock. All right. I highly encourage you test. Every industry might be different. I've seen some clients have better open rates on the weekends. So test it out and synthesize from there. The percentage of mobile device open rates has increased. So you have to keep that in mind. And finally, the last thing that I want to note here is that Gmail still leads in terms of the email clients. So if you're doing cross ESP testing, test your Gmail deliverability or how your email looks on Gmail. This is 2019 versus 2020. So Gmail still wins, followed by iPhone, mail app, PC mail app. Then you have Yahoo, Samsung, and finally Outlook iPhone. All right, so designing your email to be compatible across of these can be relevant in terms of this chart goes. And these are some of the main things that I thought worth looking at. Obviously, there's a lot more to this document. I'm going to leave a link to it. I highly recommend you download it and you look at the data to stay ahead. Thank you.